Hey guys, so today we are talking all about Sharpened-Taut, and the closest KB type to that is dramatic. And we're going to go through the Nordstrom website and focus on tops for the excerpt, and then for the full video on club, I also spent another 20 minutes or so discussing dresses, pants, skirts, and shoes. And so if you are interested in that, you can check out the club video. I'll leave a link down below, and let's get into the excerpt. Alright, so let's get into tops. Well, actually, let's review, right? Sharpened-Taut, closest KB type, dramatic, right? What does this mean for the line recommendations? So you have a sharpened bone structure, that's why you are called sharpened, and then your physique and features are taut or firm, and so they're not soft. And so what that means is that your bone structure has long lines to it, your silhouette has long lines, you probably have long arms and legs, you may be pretty tall, or you may just have a long vertical line, so you have long lines, and then you also have sharper angles to your facial bone structure, maybe some sharpness to your shoulders, but in general, sharper angles sort of dominate your look. And so you have long lines and sharp angles to your bone structure, and because on top of that you have a firmer taut physique, those sharp angles really show through. And your lines look even longer because there's no curves to sort of make them look rounder, and straight things also can tend to look even longer, right? So you have more of a straighter line to you. Okay, so a lot of models are sharpened and models are beveled firm. So, things, if you're looking at something and it looks pretty good on the model, chances are it's also going to look good on you. And if it looks disconnected on the model, it's probably going to look disconnected from you. And so your lines are going to be long, meaning that you want sleeves, if they're long, you don't want them to be bracelet length, like right above the knuckle. That would be horrible for you, just cutting that line. You have that long line and then you just cut it in the middle. You don't want 3/4 sleeves. If you have half sleeves, you want them to be a little bit like just above the elbow, kind of like to create a little bit of a longer line. And otherwise you want your sleeves to be past the knuckle. Pants go all the way to the floor, have a long line. Long, deep plunging v-necks are beautiful on you, and tops that are a bit longer too, that sort of, depending on the outfit, you could make a crop top work or anything like that, but things just generally have long lines. All right, so let's get into it. The fabrics are sleek and the fit is sleek. You don't have a lot of texture. So something like this, I would say, just has a little bit too much. Actually, like this would be really nice on you. You have the long lines, and so the top has the long lines. I think the neckline being a kind of like a boat neck like that is pretty clean, and the lines of the top are relatively clean. In black, at least, they look a bit cleaner. In a color like this, like, you want to avoid colors like that, just kind of like muted, like earth tones. You mostly want to avoid it. And then you may be asking, well, what if I am a color type that's like warm and delicate, right? Like these like soft muted earth tony colors. Like, this is a nice color for warm and delicate. Well, I would recommend, like, if you are a sharpened type and you are one of these muted skin tones, right, or you have really light features and so you look better in pastels and light colors, you certainly can do it, and you would look much better in that than a sharpened type that has high contrast features. So you can still do your colors, and I like to say that in general your body type opens up color recommendations. It doesn't always close them, although it can sometimes, So if you are a sharpened type, I would stay away from rich earth tones. I really would. I would go for more like sleek colors, like navies, deep plums, pure black, maybe silvery gray. What else is there? Cool burgundy. Things like that. Colors that are, dark emerald green would be really beautiful. Colors like that are more sleek, clean, not so much this kind of earth tone type of thing. Of course, if you do neutrals, that can look really elevated on you, so you can do like tans. I would rather see you in like a cool brown than like a rich brown, I'd rather see you in like a cool cocoa type of brown. Okay, we're getting really off topic. Okay, let's just continue with the tops. All right, so black looks good. That's the point. The lighter, softer pastels, I personally would not recommend, and this soft earth tone I wouldn't recommend. And I like the sleeves being super long, you know, like that would be nice. And don't do the front tuck because you want to have those clean lines. The front tuck is more for a bevel type. You know, try to avoid front tucks unless it's something that looks like very intentional and like very stylish, you know. But just like that, like for more of a casual look, I wouldn't recommend it. A front tuck and more of sort of like an avant-garde kind of a look, you know, that would work well. But otherwise, just avoid the front tuck because it makes all these gathers, it looks too casual and it may look a little bit sloppy. Something like this is maybe a little bit, I would say it's just a little bit, it's not too, it wouldn't be too bad on you, you know, but I would avoid the lightweight fabric with the ruffle. But if you do go for a top like this, go for it in a darker color, like pure black. Just add that drama, right? Or otherwise like a color like that. But I'd really avoid something with like that rounded neckline and then the, you know, plus the ruffle, plus the lightweight fabric. I would say it's just too many of those softer elements. Like it's going to like look a little bit disconnected, and on the model you can see it looks a tiny bit disconnected, but she's probably a bevel type, and since the top is loose, you know, it doesn't look as disconnected from her. Something like this would be excellent on you, especially in black again, or like even, you know, if you have a lighter, softer coloring like this kind of emerald green. If you have a darker coloring, then maybe a deeper emerald green would be really good. I would avoid bright colors, and the soft colors could work if it's like a head to toe soft colored look. That could work pretty well. But yeah, in the black, you know, the asymmetrical neckline, you are one of the two types that can do an asymmetrical neckline. So if I were you, I would personally wear asymmetrical necklines as often as is reasonable, because, you know, people are going to be like a little bit jealous because, you know, you can pull it off, and not a lot of people look great with asymmetrical necklines. The other type that looks great with asymmetry at the neckline is beveled firm flamboyant natural. So if you are sharpened, then definitely every evening look, I'd be there with an asymmetrical neckline. You know what I mean? Like, I would do that, you know, just off the shoulder, something off the shoulder like that. You know, would look so like sophisticated on you, so sexy on you, right, with the asymmetrical neckline. So yeah, especially in a darker color, like for evening, would be so beautiful. Like in a dress, in a top, doesn't matter. You know, you can even do, like, even what this model is wearing, you know, you can do more fitted things than like beveled firm. So you can do something that has an asymmetrical neckline and then, you know, really long sleeves and then just really fitted but long lines, you know, like black pants, black top, you know, just one long line of the same color. That would just be really beautiful on you. Or one long line of navy, that would be really beautiful on you. Something like this, you would look like you literally rolled out of bed after being in bed for 12 hours. So yeah, so and then like you've actually been in the same room for like 48 hours, and then you rolled out of bed after 12 hours in this color and this fit. In other words, it would be very, let's say, casual on you, you know, so you know, with the texture and everything, you know, I don't think that this really has a place in your wardrobe unless you're going for that look, which is, you know, just fine. But otherwise, oh yeah, and then with the bright color, I would say, like, I mean, I don't even know. I can't think of anything. I can, but I'm not going to say it. Okay, so let's just move on. Okay, so this, I would say probably no. Okay, and the reason for that is because the sleeves are too dainty, the fit is too flimsy, you know, the neckline is too nondescript. You want something like a geometric neckline. You might say to yourself, Miriam, I see a geometric neckline. Take a look. It's this one. But I would not recommend this because of the sleeves, like 3/4 sleeves. Never. You know, just don't do it as a sharpened type. Just don't do 3/4 sleeves. You know, it's a different story if you have a long sleeve top and then you roll up your sleeves, because that can be more stylistic, and somehow it makes everyone feel better knowing, including yourself, should make you feel better knowing like, oh, these are long sleeves, I just rolled them up. It's not actually a 3/4 sleeve, because 3/4 sleeves can really mess with your lines. Something like this could actually work for a casual look, even with the horizontal stripe. Like, that would work pretty well. Something like this could work if you want to go for a boho look and you are a sharpened type. So this is actually a pretty good top to talk about this. Like, if you want to go for a boho look, this is like a perfect top for you as a sharpened type, because it has the black color, which is going to look really good in terms of like to pick up on your bone structure, like a really bold color, right? Pure black. And then it has the v-neck, which is really good, and then on the sleeves it just has that accent that looks a little bit more textured, a little bit more boho, but it's not actually textured, but it's going to look very textured on you because you have such clean lines. And then it's long, so it's a very long sleeve, so that's really flattering on you too. Yeah, but this is like would work well as a staple. I would like it even better for you if it were a v-neck. But there's nothing wrong with this top. I would avoid it in colors like these unless you have a really light coloring, or if you have an ethereal essence, and you are a sharpened type, then you could do something, like this. This would be really beautiful. Oh my gosh, if you had an ethereal essence and you're a sharpened type, this would be beautiful in this, light color. Then the ultra long sleeves will like pick up on your long lines, and then the soft color will pick up on your ethereal essence. But yeah, then otherwise the pure black would work pretty well, but just with the same color. That's not pure black, like it's like an off black. It could work well, but with like a similar color bottom. I even recommend, this is a very versatile top. I even said, Blended Soft could wear this for other reasons, and it's all about how you style it. If you're Blended Soft, of course you may roll up the sleeves. Soft Classic, you may roll up the sleeves a tiny bit so they're not as long. If you're sharpened, you roll them down so that they look really long. You wear it with the same color bottom or similar color bottom, and the bottom will either be like a midi skirt that's straight and go like really quite long in terms of the line, or with a bottom like with the pants just being long, like maybe boot cut that go almost to the floor. I would say avoid something like this because you can see how short the sleeves are. They're like not, this is the other thing, like if you're sharpened, you probably sometimes run into a problem like this where it's like, oh, my sleeves are too short. They're supposed to be long sleeves, like on this top. It's a long sleeve top, let's be clear. But here it's like a little bit short. Try to avoid that. Instead, even something like this would be better. But of course, this is not really like the best top for you because it's a little bit too form-fitting, too clingy. The buttons are too small. So I would avoid that. And this is 3/4, but otherwise I like the v-neck. But the 3/4 sleeve I don't really like for you at all. I wonder if you could do something like if you roll up your sleeve. I don't think it would really look right, but no, I wouldn't recommend doing this because I don't think it would look right. But another good sleeve length for you is like right above the elbow. So you could do a top with that has a sleeve length right above the elbow. This would work better, in black. It would look pretty casual on you, and the rolled up sleeves is not too bad. Because it is it's rolled up, and this is more for sharp and soft, but it could work on you in more of like a glamorous look if you are pure sharpened. And I would say something like this could work well for an evening look actually, because you can see the sleeves are really long, and then I would just pair it with some like black bottom that is maybe like longer pants, right? Like, because this is the thing with this top, is that it does have some shorter lines, right? It's more of a crop top, it's pretty tight, so it does have some shorter lines. But the thing is that since it has the really long sleeves and the texture of it, it's like black and glittery, I can see this working for like an evening look. Just pair it with some maybe like black pants or something that just go all the way to the floor and are a bit less fitted but still have clean lines. You don't want anything too textured or baggy. You don't want something baggy, like you wouldn't want what the model is wearing, more for a bevel type. You want something that is and if you have an ethereal essence, see, I think she actually might have tied it in the back or something. It's actually like this, so this would work really beautifully. If you have an ethereal essence and you are sharpened, the soft color. And then this top, if you just wear it like this and not kind of in the cropped way, work really well for an evening look. Yeah. And then we have this one, which actually could work pretty well, because even though it's 3/4 sleeve, you notice that since the sleeve almost like it falls down, right, it does create a line that sort of keeps going. It's not something that just cuts, you know, just cuts off right in the middle of the arm, right? It just kind of still, you know, like a bell sleeve type of thing does keep going. And it has the v-neck, so yeah, I think that this could work on a sharpened type. You know, the ruffles, I think, you know, and the slightly lighter weight fabric is not certainly like completely your lines, but if you really like the top, you could do it in maybe black or this burgundy color, or yeah, in either black or like burgundy or something like that. Something like this, you know, this kind of look, it's pretty, the whole look is interesting for a sharpened type, right? Because it is more of like a look for someone who is a bevel type, a natural. But on you, it would look pretty trendy, like, you know, because it has some of those long lines, certainly. So I think it could actually sort of work on you. You know, even though it's for a bevel type, since the coloring of it, you know, and the textures of it are a bit more, you know, it's like your textures are more metallic, they have more of a sheen, your colors are more sleek, and this has some of those elements. It's kind of like a beveled goes dramatic type of thing, like the styling of it is a little bit like that. So, you know, if you want to do something super fun, you know, you would look pretty fun in this, so this kind of look, you know, could actually work on you. But in terms of the lines, you know, it's more for beveled. But since the colors and the textures, you know, like the shorts having that like metallic feel to them, the top being black, and then the lines of the look in general being a bit longer, like the top is long, the sleeves are long, you know, it would work pretty well on you. If, you know, of course it's going to look very casual. But yeah, so something like this would not work. You would say, oh, well, this is a v-neck, but you can see how the v-neck is actually curved. It's not like a very like tailored v-neck, and the sleeves are really tiny and dainty, so I would avoid sleeves like these. The sleeves are really sort of too dainty. You know, I would go for, you know, if this is like a great t-shirt for you. If it were a v-neck, it would be even better, but not necessary, you know. But that sleeve length, I'm really happy these two tops are like right next to each other, but this is the sleeve length that I'm talking about. Try to avoid the one on the left, this kind of sleeve, like a little, it's almost like a cap sleeve, it's like a tiny sleeve, you know. And instead go for a sleeve that's a bit more substantial, like it is on this t-shirt. Or if it is a bit more fitted, again, it would be better if it were longer. So like on this top, if this sleeve went all the way to here like that, then that would be better. Otherwise, just sleeveless is also great, like this. That would work really great for you. Or like, you know, just even a halter top, something like that. Those all work really well for you. So yeah, this again in black would be ideal with black pants or dark wash jeans, something like that. Even though it's a lightweight fabric, if it's in black, it's going to make the visual weight of it a little bit heavier. Or even in white, you know, like a pure optic white. That's also a pretty sleek color, so you could do pure optic white as sharpened. But I would avoid this color as sharpened, definitely avoid that. But yeah, something like this, I would really prefer this top on you if it were like a little bit longer, like maybe like 3 inches longer, but because right now it does look a bit shorter. But you know, since it has the v-neck, it has the clean lines, and if you wear it with a similar color bottom, which you really would be doing anyway, you could make it work reasonably well. Something like this would just be too casual on you. Yeah, and the texture of it, you see how it's like kind of textured? You want to avoid things that are too textured like that. This is a bit too fitted. The sleeves are a bit too like small and like I talked about, like with this sleeve, you know. So that is it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this excerpt. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you are interested in joining club, I'll leave a link down below. And if you're still confused, you can take a look around my channel for your body type and your color type, and try to look into that. And then if you're still confused, I also offer typings through my website, and all the links are below. Okay, so thanks for watching. I will talk to you next time.